Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we've got a very, very special guest. He's just hit 1 million views and got over 7,700 subscribers. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Radthar.
Hello, hello, hello. You hyped me up so good there, I'm feeling gassed.
Well, you know, people on the stream recently have been calling us Bradthar. They've coming up with lots of alliterations of our names combined. Let us know in the comments if you can think of Brad and Radthar as a combined combination to see if we like it. But you are back from a month and a half break, and of course, what have you been up to? Let us know. How has it been? Has the break been nice and welcomed? But yeah, let's hear from you.
It has been a relaxation, a complete reset of just like the stress of life and content and stuff, and I just was able to take a step back and just breathe and like reevaluate almost. I felt like, and this is really common, is we work so hard being a content creator. You know, you put so many hours in, you make so many videos, and then I just lost that passion. It just went somewhere along the way. It went, and I just needed the time to refine it, and I'm back now, and the passion is exuding. I'm like, I have not stopped working since I got back, mostly from Greece. My trip ended in Greece. My month break.
And how was Greece? What did you get up to in Greece?
It was hot. It was nice. There were beaches. There were mountains, which were less nice. I walked so much. Like I can't even describe to you how much I walked in Greece. Like I should have brought a hiking stick or something. I swear. But it was great. Like I hit like so many bucket list things. I've been saying for months, even before I knew I was going to take a break, I've just said I need to go to a beach and just like lay down. Like I just said that, and then when I decided to take the break, a couple of days later, I took the break. I made my Twitter announcement. I'm like, I'm going to Greece. So I like told people I'm going to Greece, and they were like, you like, what do you mean? I said I'm going to Greece. I'm going to a beach. I'm going to go lay down on a beach in Greece, going to a Greek island, and they were like, you're weird, and I'm like, I am, but I'm gonna do it, and I did it. And I went scuba diving. I went to a volcano. Like so many like bucket list items of things I wanted to do. I was able to do it in that trip, and it was just such a good reset.
And I see one of your uploads as well. You was riding a horse, but what I want to know is, did you fall off?
Okay, this actually is a funny story. I did not fall off. She decided to lay down. we were walking for a while, and she was new to the stables, so she was like a little bit like untrained, I guess. Like she was just a little bit like newer to it all. And we were walking down, and we got to the beach. It was a gorgeous beach. It was a black sand beach. And the moment we got to the beach, she ducked her head down and then just collapsed on the floor. And at that moment I got off because like things, and she just started rolling around in the sand. Like she was having a great time. She was sunbathing. But so I didn't fall off. She laid down.
It reminds me a little bit of the game. I don't know if you played it when you was younger, but a game called Buckaroo, and you had to and you had to put like the little items on it. And it used to randomly buck, and then everything used to come off it. But Radthar flying on the back of a horse. What a great image to have.
That was good. I like that photo. He took a lot of photos of me on that trip, and he didn't do many good ones, but that one he did really well.
It was an amazing photo. So as I was just saying, I don't know if you've seen my comment earlier, but I went back to your first original upload that you did in Rogue Company.
Oh, really?
And
Rogue Company.
Yeah, and it was like the first look at Rogue Company. So it was over a year ago. I think you'd done 2 or 3 Call of Duty Warzone or Call of Duty. I don't think it was Warzone, but Call of Duty videos beforehand.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to know were those your actual first videos you've ever done for content creation, and then you kind of done a few and then went straight into Rogue Company, or actually have you tried your hand in other things before this? No,
so the how to land in downtown, which was a Warzone video. It was my first ever YouTube video I ever made, and I was playing so much COD at the time, so much Warzone at the time, and I loved downtown. And I mean, okay, it's a mini origin story. I started doing YouTube because I was setting up a business of selling games, like physical copies of Xbox and PlayStation games and Switch games and stuff. And I was setting up a business doing that, and it was going all right. But I wanted a way of like promoting the games I was playing. So I wanted to make YouTube videos and stream the games that I was selling to be like, hey, come check this game out. Like, it's a great game, and you can buy it from me, you know? And then, so I started making Warzone videos because I kind of thought it'd be fun, and I made those, and they were great. They were my first ever videos ever done. I'm not like a techie edit-y guy, but I've learned a lot on the way, and they were definitely my first videos. I'm actually really proud of the Superstore, my second ever video. If you played Warzone, you can get like little recon drones, and I did this like cinematic like drone like flying backwards out of the door, flying around Superstore. Like I was so proud of that little skit. But yeah, and then Rogue Company hit, and there was a time after I made my first like Rogue Company video, I was kind of doing Rogue Company and Warzone, and I just went for Rogue Company after like a week or two, and yeah, I mean, I definitely haven't looked back since. It was a great move. And
I mean, it's been an absolutely sensational journey, and I, for one, have actually watched you grow, and it's been a real pleasure for me to watch you grow. But whilst you're on the subject of your first video, do you remember what that actually visually looked like? And if not, I could tell you. So basically, you had the Rogue Company logo, and then you had a small square with your webcam underneath, and you was like, "Hi, it's Radthar. You know, I could go to bed, but actually, I'm going to play some Rogue Company."
I remember that night. I downloaded the game at like 11 p.m. at night, and I was like, I could go to bed. I just like finished and do a thumbnail for a Warzone video. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm going to try this game out. And that video was 15 minutes long or something.
Yeah,
like, it was the tutorial and my first ever game. That's such a bad idea. Like knowing what I know now, making a 15-minute video on the tutorial and first game, that was silly.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me into my next question, actually. And for people that maybe play Rogue Company or not necessarily Rogue Company, have you got any tips from that video that you made to maybe where you are now? Because obviously, I don't know if you guys see what I posted on Twitter, but this guy has 7,700 subs, and the growth has been absolutely sensational. So if you're going to take any tips, take them from this guy, and here it is.
Okay, so content tips, right? My biggest content tip is usually you have to, when you're making a video, come out with a video idea, you have to know like what you're trying to achieve with it. Like it has to have a purpose. And this is why I don't love gameplay videos often, because it's just gameplay. Sometimes that works. Like absolutely, I've got gameplay videos. I've got a Sonic and Rogue series. Like, you know, there's videos like that. But it's the like educational 5 tips for this or how to get better at this. That's what people like, because in content, especially YouTube, it's all about searchability. The gameplay stuff doesn't really work until you have a big following, which you can clickbait with like insane Ronin gameplay, and then they'll watch it, and then it'll get recommended to other people who will see the thumbnail and get like clickbaited, and then they can go. I say clickbait, like but when you're starting out to grow, you need searchable titles. Like you need something searchable, and so that's like how to get better at Rogue Company, beginner tips for Rogue Company, and all that. And with that as well, and this is what I didn't understand for a while, but was probably a big key to like why I started getting searched more. Your title, your tags, your description, and the first minute of what you physically say in a video are all like in the algorithm, and you need that to match. So if your title is like 5 tips for beginners, put that in your title. In the first intro you're doing, it said, "Hey guys, I'm here and I've got 5 tips for beginners in Rogue Company." Your description, the first line needs to say, "Here's 5 tips for beginners," and the tags, like it all has to match. Yeah. And the algorithm loves that. It just absolutely loves that. And then that's when searchability comes through.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And that kind of, I watched a video once, partly when my content started getting better, I bought a webcam, or at least in my opinion, I thought it got better. But actually the tag thing is one thing that I would definitely recommend, the ability to tag, because like you say, when keywords and phrases are searched, hopefully you'll be #1 ranked. So if there are a lot of people searching that particular thing, then, you know, that hopefully views turn into subs, and, you know, the rest is history.
exactly 100%. But no, that's dead on. That is my biggest tip of like what your content should be about, and then how to like beat the algorithm almost. That's the important part, especially with YouTube.
Of course, yeah. And that leads us on to the next question, and partly links into the first thing we spoke about you taking some time out. But in your opinion, how have you found making YouTube content as well as streaming and stuff?
I mean, it's been great. It's something so unique. Like there's nothing like it, at least that I've done in my life. You know, I was like basically a teacher beforehand, and I've done odd jobs and stuff before. I have a law degree, like, you know, and so going to filmmaking and videos and that sort of stuff is like a whole different ball game. But it's a great time. It is just, it can be stressful, and that is when I took my break. Is there's a lot of pressure, and the moment when you work as long and as hard as you have to work to make it a success, the moment something in your personal life happens, everything, it can be really difficult. And so that's kind of what led to my break, was just like needing to take that time to reassess and figure out if it was something I wanted to continue doing. And I mean, thankfully it is, and I'm back, and there's, I don't know when you're planning on uploading this video specifically, but probably Wednesday is when you're uploading it.
It'll probably be today.
Okay, well there you go. So tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm back. So it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's great. It's one of, and I'm sure you agree, it's just one of the most like unique and rewarding experiences when you get that comment that says, "Hey, I love your video. You really made my day," or a Twitch like comment that says, "Hey, I've had a bad day, but just watching your stream for the past hour has like really like cheered me up." Like that's like. There's literally no feeling in the content world that is better than somebody saying they enjoy what you do. And
no, I completely agree. And before I ask you the next question, I completely relate to that, because at the times when I felt my lowest with making content, even though my expectations have really been exceeded, you kind of, your goalposts always move, and you think, right, well, because of my current trajectory, I'd like to be here next month. And then when you don't hit it, that can really set you back.
Yeah.
But the thing that keeps you going are the people that regularly come to your streams, and you do notice them. You notice the ones that always are in your stream and supporting you. So that, yeah, with that being said, those times where you've rid lows, how have you dealt with them?
I ran away to Greece. That's what I did. That was a particular exception. That one was something that really hit me hard. But in terms of like what you're talking about, like the little lows, like a video doesn't do as well. And you'll notice as well, you go to your YouTube dashboard and you've just uploaded like 2 hours ago and you get a 10 out of 10 on your thing, and it's your worst video out of the last 10. You're like, damn it, why has this done this? Like you know that feeling, and it's pressure that you put on yourself. And I think that's healthy. I think that element of stress and desire to get like better is important. But it's just knowing that like sometimes a video flops, sometimes it just doesn't get picked up in the algorithm, sometimes this that the other, and it's just knowing and being confident enough in yourself as a content creator to just push through that and make the next video is super important. I also found not uploading every day, for me personally, became way better. I uploaded every day for like 8 months, which is insane. And then I stopped, and now I do like 3 times a week. And my quality of content is better, in my opinion. And I have more time to work on the videos, and I just feel better about like the content I'm putting out. And that's another really big thing for me, is even if a video flops, if I'm proud of it, I'm proud of it. If I edited well, if I learned something doing it, that's good enough for me,
Yeah, and there we go, another Radthar tip, and that's something that I recently learned as well. Trying to move away from every day to stay on top of how many views I'm getting really isn't something that I want to continue doing. So a little drop there for me, a little bombshell drop, mic drop, that I probably will move away from daily uploads, but we'll see when that starts. Of course, because my normal life will require me to go back to working in London and stuff, so I'm not going to have the time to literally finish work, get on my computer, record something, and then edit it and upload it. So part of that effect comes in as well. But now what everyone wants to probably hear is Rogue Company stuff. So the next few questions are all about Rogue Company. But what a pleasure to hear about Radthar's break and everything else. I'm sure people are intrigued to hear about that. And like I say, if you want to hear more and ask him some questions, be sure to head over to his Twitch tomorrow, where he will be back for the first time, and he will be there to entertain everyone. And I, for one, will definitely be joining in. So let's talk Rogue Company. What are your plans for What are your plans for the next few months with Rogue Company?
So Rogue Company is in a weird state, and it was since I kind of went on my break. It's like it had a lot of bug issues and blah blah. And I think that is what it is. It's had bug issues. It's annoying, but we kind of move past it. Think of it from a content point of view. It's in a weird state, and I really want to see where it's going to head out to the end of the year. So I'm going to continue like what I've been doing. I'm going to be doing my streams 5 days a week. I upload 3 times a week, and I make sure the content I'm putting out in terms of my YouTube is very consistent and like and what I'm going to call like big money, big ticket items
Yeah.
of like tier lists, and I've got a video planned maybe for next week, and I'll tease you here. It's like a 50 things you don't know about Rogue Company, short like this, like in like 10 minutes or whatever. That's something that I've got planned coming forward. That I'm looking forward to do, and it's like a different type of video, but it should be really interesting. So I want to make sure the videos I'm putting out on YouTube are very, very like good and helpful and searchable and all that and stuff, and feed that back into my Twitch, which is honestly where I'm focusing the majority of my efforts.
Yep.
Probably going forward. I want to stream longer. I want to make it more quality streams. I'm working on emotes, channel points, those sort of things, that interactivity. Because at the end of the day, the Rogue Company community, and this is what I sort of was thinking about, is what do I enjoy the most? And it is actually the community, and just having the people in my Twitch chat and from the game just come in and hang out and play and have a good time. Like my Twitch grew from playing viewer games, like playing with viewers, and I kind of fell away from that. And they also love Soda Cutie Rogue because they like to watch me suffer, apparently. But but like the mix of those two and custom games is something people really want to see, and I keep seeing people talk about custom games and whatnot. So I think I want to go back to that and go back to my roots, and that's my plan with Twitch, and just make sure my Twitch is what people are really like enjoying about my content. And the YouTube is great there for searchability, feeding back, and just giving general tips and advice to people who want to like a more structured idea of like tips.
Yeah. Now that sounds really interesting, and it's nice to hear that you've got some really key like objectives and areas that you want to focus on over the next coming months. And of course, season 4 is only 20 days away, and that will be the perfect time to. What a way to come back! It's almost like you planned it. 20 days, and there he is. So season 4, are you excited?
I'm excited. I have my concerns. I'm not gonna lie, I have my concerns. I need rank to be good, and I am in constant contact. Like, tell me rank's gonna be good. Tell me what you're doing in rank. Like this, that, and the other. Just trying to get as much information as I can, and just talk about it, and make sure that for me is a good system, because that's what I really like about Rogue Company. But I'm very excited. I just hope that they put out the update in a good state, and that season 4 comes nicely. The new map looks cool. I know you picked it up on your channel and stuff of the new map, the little teaser we got. So that's interesting. New rogues, we're still due to have 2 this year, I believe. Yeah. I kind of hope they just do 1. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's my secret hope, is they just say, you know what, we ran out of time. Like who came late? Someone came really late. Either Runway or Switchblade came super, super late. Than expected. So I don't mind if they just don't put another one out this year or something. But I'm excited for season 4. Every new season is always something new. They are banging out the cosmetics. This battle pass was insane, and so like the next battle pass, hope it's insane as well. Like that, the Talon skin and the cave, that is kind of my 2 like favorite things in this game. No, I agree. And that kind of, I was saying this yesterday, for me, like the thing or the lore that keeps me in this game is the cosmetics for me. And it's such a shame, like you get other games that do really, really well and make a lot of money from the cosmetics. Like you take Valorant, for example, they've got so many cool weapon skins, and I feel like they've introduced exotic skins into Rogue Company, but we haven't really seen any more. And it'll be really cool to get some more rather than one just every 3 months, because people's interest is being lost. They're mastering all the weapons. What perfect time to start pumping some exotic skin wraps, especially for me. Exactly. If I'm using the 2.4S, and of course with the current customization system, you are stuck to one wrap, if you like, per gun. So of course you want all your guns in the best wraps possible. So for me, that's something that I'd definitely like to see. A lot more exotic weapon wraps for the next season. And of course, like you said in the video, I think it's going to be Mexican themed. So we're probably going to see some sombrero emotes, maybe some taco eating emotes, burritos. So that'll be pretty cool. But in your opinion, who is the best and worst rogue right now in the game that maybe needs some love in season 4? Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting, because tomorrow's video is a tier list. Best rogue. Okay, I was talking about this yesterday. It's either, in my opinion, Switchblade or Kestrel. Switchblade is probably the best because she's easier to use, but I do think if you're a better player, you can actually do more with Kestrel. Okay. But I was talking. I was just like, Kestrel's just S tier in everything. Every respawn mode, every demolition mode, she's just great. So I would say Kestrel personally. She is my go-to solo queue rogue. If I have to carry a 1v4, it's Kestrel. Switchblade is good, but I just think she's like kind of easy to use and less rewarding if you can play better. Worst rogue, that's super interesting because I just think most rogues are viable right now. There's just ones I would say that have similar jobs to others that don't do very it's like they're not as good. Dima's one of them. He's like a worse version of Switchblade and Kestrel, in my opinion. But the actual worst rogue, Mac's in a weird spot. I don't like Mac.
Yeah, no.
I think Mac just like like what is he, what does he really bring to the table? Like his ability isn't very good. His passive's really good, but his weapons are like meh, even with weapon mastery. Like give him an AR, whole different story.
Yeah.
But he has an LMG and a SMG. It's like they're okay, but they're not worth it.
Yeah, no, I think that's so. For me, I'd very much say the same. I'd probably say for me, Switchblade. I have the most fun playing Switchblade, but of course, if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, Switchblade is most likely going to be banned because of her ultimate ability. So that kind of does lead what you said, Kestrel, into being probably up there with Switchblade in all honesty. And then for me, Mac or Trench. I think Trench is very, very good, but for me, the trip mines are annoying. So that's why I put him down.
Trip mines are the worst thing in this game. I've never been more annoyed playing Strikeout than running into a million trip mines. EDM's worse though, because they don't despawn. They just stay there. So
that's why I strongly dislike him. I know Runway has them as well, of course, but it's always Trench, and
it's always the Trench because their guns aren't good enough to like do anything. So it's always the Trench.
Oh, that's so funny. So where do you see Rogue Company in 6 months' time and this time next year? So a year's time.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I've never been. I mean, I was one say, "Oh, Rogue will blow up one day." I don't know. Rogue, I think, will remain consistent. It will have a loyal player base. Obviously, a lot of the content creators are moving away, and I may even look towards Halo or some another game like that, like a little bit. So I don't know exactly the state of Rogue Company from a content point of view in 6 months. It's going to be, it really could go one way or the other. It depends on their updates, depends on their transparency with the wider community. And it kind of depends on like how people take some of the changes that they're probably thinking of. Because I know they want to innovate. That's one thing about Rogue Company. They're always trying to innovate what the game is. They don't want to stay stagnant. And I think it's a pro and a con of their decision making.
Yeah, I agree.
Some people want the consistency of, yes, Demolition is like this, it's this many rounds, and play it like this, and then this is the meta, and sometimes the meta changes ever so slightly. But I know their kind of direction is like, let's change it up completely. Let's just change an entire mechanic. Let's change the TTK. Let's change the way utility works. Let's change this, that, or the other. And it has its pros and cons. So it's either going to tank Rogue Company or accelerate it. But in 6 months, I don't think the game is going to be in a amazing, like not like a big game yet. In a year, it could. If from now to 6 months it starts going upwards, I think from 6 months to a year it will accelerate. If it stays stagnant till 6 months, it's either going to stay stagnant and go down by the end of the year. That's kind of my prediction. Is
yeah. So I was actually, I'd like to see your opinion on something actually. And I was actually listening to Octane, the guy that you used to do a podcast with. And he was touching on obviously the reboot of, or not reboot, it's not a reboot, but obviously they've employed 6 to 8 staff, I think, to focus specifically on Realm Royale and maybe squishing some bugs. Now, he had some close talks with the developers, and I'm sorry if I quote this wrong, but they apparently, the issues with the servers weren't actually the servers. It's something to do with the way the game is coded. Which is maybe why Rogue Company is the way it is. Yeah. They look at the servers and think the servers are fine. And maybe it's to do with all the coding. There's too much code or too little code. Can they simplify the code? But the way the game's reading all the codes is causing all these different issues. Now, I don't know how true that is. And obviously, it sounds like a big problem if that is what it is. It doesn't sound great. But that almost requires like ripping up the page completely and being like, right, let's recode the game and try and alleviate all these problems that I would say have pretty much plagued the game from season 0. These little lag spikes or what appears as server stabilization. So that for me was very worrying. Now, I'm not saying that is exactly the same issues that are in Rogue Company, but seeing as they're developed by the same people, that could could be an issue, and maybe why when you see these like bugs lists, server stabilization ain't on there, because maybe they can't do anything with the servers. So I don't know, but there's a little bit of a bombshell. That's
interesting.
Yeah, and I was kind of what I was really interested by is I got asked yesterday by Griffin, if you were the CEO of Rogue Company or Realm Royale, and the players that you're trying to attract comes back to the same game, what would you change? Now, if servers and bugs and stuff is one thing that the player experience will re-experience, then they're just going to re-download it, have the same experience, and then uninstall it again. So I don't understand where they can go to really slick out the game from here. But if you were the CEO and the list of bugs that currently coincide, what would you focus on?
Okay, so of the current like issues with Rogue right now, like kind of what would I focus on as CEO? Honestly, server stuff like would be a massive one. The next one in my eyes is probably any issues with aiming, whether it be aim assist or whatever, micro starters, whatever, anything that is, because there's nothing more frustrating as a player than dying not because I did something wrong, but because the game made me die. Like, you know, like if I get outplayed, I get outplayed. If you know I miss my shots, I miss my shots. If I am about to kill you and then my game freezes or I lose aim assist, like that's the most unfun experience. So that is what I'd focus on, and then it's matchmaking. 100% it's matchmaking. Because the actual playing experience, especially in ranked, is not very good. Oh, also fix rank. Let me lose RP. That is. The fact that it's gone on for over a season now blows my mind. And there's like a little sore spot for me, I'm not gonna lie, like the fact that that's still a thing. But yeah, like matchmaking's a massive thing. And my actual fix for this, and I've spoken about before, and I kind of tend to get a bit of backlash for it because the console community don't like it, but get the console player base, which is much bigger than the PC player base, and get the PC player base and merge them. Stop separating queues, because that is X amount times more players that you can then matchmake for. You can get better rank games. You can get quicker queue times. Everything that's an issue with matchmaking of whatever you think it is, whether it be queue times, player experience, balancing of teams, like all that can be eliminated if you have a wider player base. And the only way to get a wider player base right now is to merge the lobbies, because you can't get more players, you know? Like you can't just like say, okay, I need 1,000 people. I'm buying this 1,000 people and I'm putting them in my game. It doesn't work.
and that makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, I don't know how many mouse and keyboard players there actually are, but it does seem that Rogue Company is a favorable controller experience. So why not just match all the controller people and mouse and keyboard people together? Because there's no real advantage of mouse and keyboard in this game anyway. I think
the main issue is the hardware of just like a console, like a console versus a PC.
You might get a few more frames on PC or whatever it may be, or people may say that it's easier to cheat on PC. But I think consoles is easy to cheat on now. You've got the stripe packs. I see a really funny tweet the other day. It was like a doing God's work, and he was taking off stripe packs off something and putting them under there. I was like, that's so funny. I didn't know what they were at that point. I had to Google what he was doing, because I was like, what? Why is he doing God's work? And then that's when I found out about it. I was like, oh my god, that's actually really funny.
That's good. That was a good tweet. I saw. And this is my other thing with this debate. I don't get too much into debate because your comments will blow up about console versus PC, but new gen consoles play at 120 frames per second. Like if you're playing against, if new gen and old gen are playing against each other, there's no reason that new gen and or old gen and PC can't play together. It's an extra 30 frame difference. It's like it's not an issue. Like realistically, if you're already playing against new gen consoles like PS5s and Xbox Series X, you may as well play against a PC. They have the same advantage.
Yeah, and I think that, like, whether you like it or not, is kind of like you need to put that aside and just think, right, do I want to be waiting 5 minutes for a game, or would I rather just play more regularly against more different people, a wider variety of people? And you know, you increase your own skill ceiling, because you might be the best on console, but there's other people on PC that are really bad like me. So why don't you want to play against me?
Yeah, exactly.
This is we got 2 more questions left. So for anyone downloading the game right now, do you have any tips? And obviously I don't want you to give away any too many tips because I know you've got a video coming out, but maybe just one general tip that you might be able to give people.
Okay, I'll give you like 1.5. The half is play Ronin.
Yeah.
Ronin is the best rogue to learn the game on. She's super strong right now. Her gun is amazing. Like, just learn the game on Ronin. But the other one is, like, probably I would say, just think. Like, just think. I say this with every game. Just take a step and think. Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I going here? Like, how far are they? Like, if I see an enemy and they're running towards me, like, you know, use that third person. Like, you know, you've got a third person. You can sit behind a wall and go, hey,
yeah.
you know, like you can do that. Like, and that's a massive thing. And the other one, and I'll just say it because it's like my basic does give people shoulder swap. Learn shoulder swap. Super important mechanic. It's really useful. Saves your life 9 times out of 10. And it bugs me when people are on the wrong shoulder, like they're on this shoulder and they're walking around the corner like this. Like, that bugs me. So shoulder swap, use third person, and play Radthar.
Or don't shoulder swap and send Radthar a tweet and just to annoy him. Send him a good clip. Rate my clip, Radthar.
Yeah. If you're not shoulder swapping in your clip, 0 out of 10.
And lastly, where can people find you? I know that's a silly question, but you may get 1 or 2 people that don't watch you on my channel that might want to find you.
You can find me pretty much everywhere. YouTube, I'm just Radthar. Twitch, I'm Radthar Gaming. And then every other social media you can think of pretty much is just Radthar. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, which I'll be uploading to more. And yeah, Discord is also a great place. There was, you know, Discord server is always a fun place to like hang out and stuff. So yeah, you can pretty much find me everywhere under Radthar in some variation. And
what a pleasure. I'm sure if everyone enjoyed this video, can you show Radthar some insane love in the comments? It has been a real honor to meet what I would say a Rogue Company hero. But until the next one, guys, take it easy. Peace.